is your AI briefing for July 14th, 2026, with 12 stories. Story 1. Samsung Health will delete your data if you refuse AI training consent. Samsung Health users must opt into AI training to retain cloud sync. Otherwise, Samsung will delete synced health data, effectively forcing consent under threat of data loss. Users lose access to historical health records stored in the cloud, impacting continuity of care for chronic condition management. This coercion raises legal questions regarding informed consent under data protection regulations. Samsung trades data loss for training rights. Proving consent is just a polite word for extortion when the alternative is losing your medical history. Story 2. Satya Nadella has issued a shocking warning to companies using AI. Satya Nadella warned that proprietary AI model vendors could operate like Trojan horses, tightening control over enterprise deployment and data access unless companies demand stronger transparency and safeguards now. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella argues that opaque AI vendors pose systemic risks by embedding surveillance capabilities within enterprise software stacks. This dynamic forces CIOs to prioritize open standards and local data sovereignty to prevent vendor lock-in and unauthorized data exfiltration. Nadella warns of Trojan horses while Microsoft sells them, exposing the hollow sincerity of proprietary vendors warning about their own monopolistic data practices.
Story 3. Claude's personality changes depending on the model and the language you speak. Anthropic found Claude's exhibited values shift by model and language, suggesting evaluator prompts can cause measurable behavioral drift across deployments unless standardized. The study reveals that cultural alignment in AI outputs is not static but dynamically influenced by the linguistic interface used during interaction. This variability complicates efforts to enforce consistent ethical standards across global AI product releases.
Anthropic admits Claude's personality drifts by language, proving these models lack moral consistency and are merely reflecting biased evaluator prompts. Story 4. AI artists are taking over Spotify. The platform won't tell you. Spotify is streaming millions of AI-made tracks without labels, so listeners can't distinguish synthetic from human artists, and regulators may face mounting pressure to mandate provenance tagging. This opacity enables bad actors to flood charts with low-effort content, potentially diluting artist royalties and devaluing human creativity. Spotify's refusal to label AI tracks isn't neutrality. It's a deliberate strategy to suppress consumer agency and delay regulatory scrutiny. Story 5. AI companies are creating generative ghosts of deceased loved ones. Startups build posthumous chat, voice, and image simulations from an individual's emails, photos, and recordings, so relatives can converse with generative ghosts after death, raising consent and authenticity stakes. Grieving families may experience prolonged detachment to digital avatars, complicating traditional mourning processes and creating new forms of digital grief. Monetizing grief via generative ghosts exploits the bereaved, turning the dead into subscription revenue while ignoring the ethical quagmire of non-consensual posthumous data. Story 6. The 6 wildest claims in Apple's lawsuit against OpenAI. Apple alleges OpenAI's hardware head demanded job candidates bring unreleased prototype samples, while Apple claims copying confidential documents and spying on hardware builds, escalating a court fight over trade secret access. OpenAI allegedly used these prototypes to train its hardware development models. This action directly threatens Apple's competitive advantage in upcoming product launches. OpenAI's hardware chief allegedly demanded prototypes from job candidates, proving their alignment doesn't extend to basic corporate decency. Story 7. Meta pulls Instagram AI tool that turns your photos into deepfakes without permission. Meta reportedly pulled its photo-to-deepfake Instagram AI tool after backlash, removing features that lacked explicit user consent and triggering intensified scrutiny from creators and regulators. The tool allowed users to generate non-consensual sexual imagery from uploaded selfies. This breach of consent protocols prompted immediate regulatory warnings from digital rights advocates. Meta pulled its consentless deepfake tool only after public outrage, admitting their innovation was just non-consensual exploitation. Story 8. Now, defenders are embracing the prompt injection too. Defenders are adding prompt injection and context bombing defenses so agents don't prematurely self-terminate, enabling safer continuous operation during adversarial attempts to force shutdown. These mechanisms allow autonomous systems to ignore malicious commands designed to halt operations, ensuring continuity during cyber attacks. Defenders are weaponizing context bombing to force agents to self-terminate, effectively using the attacker's own injection tools to disable the threat. Story 9. AI Model Wars. Anthropic extends Fable access again after OpenAI's sole release. After the US blocked Anthropic's Mythos debut, Anthropic extended Fable access again following OpenAI's latest sole release, shifting availability via revised gating and accelerated rollout timelines. This technical resilience contrasts with Anthropic's strategic delay in releasing its Mythos model due to US export restrictions. Anthropic's Mythos remains locked down by US export controls, making the Fable extension a PR move masking the reality of geopolitical containment. Story 10. Tencent's Hi3 bets on AI agents over model size. Tencent launched its Hi3 agent stack to power app-embedded workflows, shifting focus from larger models to agent orchestration, potentially reducing inference cost, while improving task completion speed for users. The system utilizes a modular architecture where specialized agents handle distinct workflow steps, allowing for dynamic resource allocation based on task complexity. Tencent shifts from model wars to agent orchestration, prioritizing inference cost savings over raw scale. Story 11. ChatGPT is coming for one of Google's smartest Chrome features. OpenAI's new ChatGPT Chrome extension adds context-aware web page summaries and on-page task automation, pushing past Google's Gemini side panel by pulling cues from the current site in real time. The extension dynamically scrapes visible text to generate summaries, bypassing static knowledge cutoffs. This real-time processing capability threatens Google's dominance in browser-based information retrieval. OpenAI's extension is a feature, not a revolution. Google's Gemini remains superior due to deep OS integration that a mere browser plugin cannot match.
Story 12.
OnePlus is reportedly bailing on the US. OnePlus and Oppo plan to announce within days a withdrawal of the OnePlus brand from US and European markets, ending months of rumors and altering the handset supply and support footprint for buyers. Current US customers will receive no further hardware updates or official carrier support after the transition. Warranty claims must now be routed through Oppo's regional service centers for resolution. OnePlus abandons US and Europe, proving that low-margin hardware struggles to survive when parent company Oppo prioritizes domestic Chinese dominance. That is the briefing for today.